he can pass all these little tests, he can respond to a steady feel, I can move him with some rhythmic pressure, and I can get a bit of sideways on the circle. Now I'm actually going to ask him to circle around me. I'm going to make sure that I can back him off me and have him probably a little bit further away than this, about at least a stick's length away. So I don't want to be able to touch his chest with my stick. That's about a nice distance there. I'm going to direct him out on the circle with my rope, tap his shoulder and ask him to go around me. So can I circle him around me, rest my stick on his back, keep a nice feel on the halter. When I wanted to stop, I'm going to see if I can push his hindquarters away. He knows how to do that because we taught him that initially, teaching him to respond to a rhythmic pressure. He knows how to back up because we taught him that in isolation also. He knows how to move his front end because we also made sure that he could do that before we started this game. So I'm going to direct him out to the right this time, and I'm going to tap him on the shoulder to make sure he goes out onto the circle and not through my space. Then I'm going to rest the stick on his back. This doesn't look terribly exciting or dynamic, but this is a really good starting point just to make sure that we've got some basic communication before we take it to the next level. If I can't do this slowly, I'm probably not going to be able to do it at a higher speed. Okay, so if I can do that, the next thing I want to be able to do is to send him out and sweep the circle to make sure that my horse isn't pushing on me with any part of his body. So I'm going to send him out onto the circle again, and this time I'm going to sweep the circle with my stick. I'm going to keep a little feel on the halter. This sweeping action makes sure that the horse isn't pushing in on the circle with any part of his body or pushing on my personal space. If he pushes in, he runs into the sweeping stick. Then I'm going to push the hindquarters away. A horse will never push on the lead horse. If my horse can push on me or push on my personal space, he's not going to see me as a leader. So it's important that not only does he not push forward on top of me, but when he's circling around me, that he keeps his nose tipped towards me and a nice arc in his body away from me. If his nose is to the outside of the circle and his shoulders coming into the circle, he's effectively pushing on me with his shoulder or pushing on my personal space. So we need a nice positive arc and a nice soft attitude. Two things go hand in hand. I asked Rocky to circle, and can I sweep the circle so I can keep Rocky's nose tipped towards me with his body arced away. Then I'm going to push the hindquarters and ask him to face me. Okay, so this is working now at low energy, so it's working at a pretty slow walk. Can I pump the energy up and see if this still works for me at the trot? We start everything low energy and then we build it up. So I'm going to send him with a bit more energy now, and I might even need to let my string out. And same thing, I can sweep the ground here. Actually, I'll hold my string, pick it back up again. And sweep the ground here. You can see Rocky's not a terribly forward-going horse. It takes a little bit to motivate him. Okay. And when I ask him to stop, I'm going to make sure he doesn't push forward into my personal space and that he stays out where I asked him to stop.
So now I'm about to ask my horse, can my horse circle around me by moving off a steady pressure and moving away from a rhythmical motion. Just have my horse go around me without my horse pushing on me. At the same time, I'm going to rub the horse, have him gentle to movement, gentle to the stick. And just cause him to maintain gait and direction. If the horse gets too close to you, just see if you can sweep the stick along the body of the horse, just to make sure they don't push on your space. This is also a good technique to have the horse become more gentle to movement. So don't allow the horse to push on your space.
See if you get a bit more of a lively trot this time. Get out my stick and string. Make sure I can sweep the ground. And I'm going to make sure that my feet walk forward in a small circle. If I step backwards when the horse is circling me, that's going to cause the horse to come into my personal space if I take these types of steps back. That would be me making a submissive gesture or submissive body language to my horse, which would cause him to feel that he could probably push on me and he could be the leader in the relationship. If I'm stepping forward, I have a much more positive and alpha or leader type body language. Can I push the hindquarters away? I can move his hindquarters. Ask him to keep out of my personal space. And I'd like Rocky to pass one more test in the circling game, and that is, can he circle around me at the trot and allow me to toss the string over his back without him being worried? So this is where I'm making sure that he can be trusting of my tools and my equipment and me at a higher level of energy. Often when a horse's feet are standing still, they can tolerate quite a lot, but as soon as they start to move and their energy comes up, they get worried. So let's see if I can send Rocky around me. Keep out of my personal space, and toss the string over his back. So that doesn't seem to be affecting him a lot. He's quite happy with that string to be tossed over his back. And then I'd push the hindquarters and ask him to stop and face me.